Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today we're going to check out this piece of recovery gear that every four-wheel driver and caravaner alike should have, but you probably don't. Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today we're going to have a look at a piece of recovery gear that I think every four-wheel driver and caravaner should have alike, whether you go off-road or not. So what we've got was sent to us by VicOffroad. It's another San Hima accessory. We're having a pretty good run with the San Hima stuff. So far we haven't had any major issues with any of the stuff. Nothing's perfect, but you know, we really do like it. It certainly represents very good value for money. Today we're having a look at the SH2500JS, which is San Hima's take on a lithium jump starter pack. So what? It's a jump starter pack. This one's got a few tricks up its sleeve that I think set it apart from most other jump starter packs in this price bracket. Now, these retail for about $200. You can get them from VicOffroad. They do have discounts on their website quite regularly. If you're interested in supporting the channel, we will pop a link down in the description that you can use to get across to VicOffroad that will take you to this. What's different about this jump starter pack, you might ask? Well, this one has a built-in air compressor, and it's not just a dumb air compressor with a gauge that just tells you what the pressure is. It actually has an inflation mode that will allow you to set the air pressure that you're interested in getting to, and it will stop when you get there. Now, in the pack comes a USB charging cable, both for USB-A and USB-C, an air hose that threads on, and a set of jumper leads to attach to the battery. So first things first, we'll get straight into the functionality of this as a jump start pack. I haven't had to use this on my vehicle yet, but I did have to use it when I was out at a four-wheel drive basic training day with Four-Wheel Drive New South Wales, and well, this is how that went. So here we're out on a four-wheel drive recovery day, four-wheel drive basic training day. We hooked the San Hima up to the Prado. The battery's gone flat because it's been running the inverter. So should be good to go whenever you're ready to hit it. There you go. San Hima Jump Start Pack. Just started a V8 Land Cruiser. There you go. It'll jump start a V8 Cruiser. That seems like a pretty good test to me for the jump start side of things. The next thing I want to do is see how well it works as an air compressor. Now, we do have an onboard ARB air compressor in Rubi that we use to air up our tyres when we're out on the road. But that's not really what this is for. This is if you had a minor puncture repair, you're not in a big rig that has dedicated for wheeling, that has a dedicated compressor. Maybe you're towing a caravan or a camper and you've just put a plug in your tyre on the side of the road, but you need to get air into that tyre. So what we're going to do for this test, I'm going to air this tyre down to 18 psi, which is our standard off-road pressure, because I've got the deflators set to that inside the car. Then we'll hook the compressor up and we'll time how long this compressor takes to inflate this tyre to 38 psi from 18 pound. Now that the tyre's aired down, we're going to have to attach the inflator hose to the unit. The thread for the inflator hose on the unit is on one end, so that just simply screws on. Now, before we attach the unit to the tyre, we will just check what the pressure is set to by using the up and down arrows. I run these tyres at 38 psi, so we'll set that to 38 psi. We'll attach it to the tyre. And now we'll see how long this takes to take this tyre up to 38 pound. There you go. Definitely not as fast as the ARB compressor, but works quite well. only used 1 bar of battery. I don't think it would do all 4 of our big tyres, but then again, that's not really the purpose of a compressor like this. The unit also serves as a power bank, so it has both a USB-A and a USB-C port. I'll double check the wattage and I'll put that in the description for the output of each of those ports. There is quite a bit of battery in this, so you could probably use this for quite a while. If you're working on your car, the unit comes with a handy light and has a couple of modes: always on, fast flash, and an SOS mode. You can switch the display on the unit between bar and PSI if you work in either measurement. It doesn't come with kPa, which I was a little bit surprised about, but most things use PSI these days anyway. Alright, now we'll have a quick change of scenery because I did say that this is useful for caravan owners as well. We'll jump into the Avan and I'll show you what I think this is good for in a caravan. Alright, we're in the Avan now, and Pippi decided to say hello. So, Pippi, say hello to everyone. Hello! Everybody, say hello to Pippi. This unit is useful beyond just jump-starting cars and pumping up tyres. It has a use inside a camper like this. And this unit in particular has a special mode that you can put the unit into. So normally with a jump start pack like this, you open the port, you plug in your cable for the unit, making sure it's plugged in around the right way, and you attach it to your battery. And usually this unit won't apply power unless it detects that there is some power in the battery in a car, because when you're jump starting a car, most of the time you've still got some power. You've got reds on your dash, you know, you've just left your headlights on or something like that. The battery's not completely flat. But in campers, in caravans, with the advent of lithium batteries and even older lead acid batteries, every now and again, particularly if the camper, and I know this is a big problem in the Avan community, especially for the ones without solar, when the campers get put into storage, the batteries can self-discharge. And in the case of a lithium battery, the BMS will eventually cut in and shut the battery off entirely. And the same thing can happen with lead batteries, except they don't have a BMS. You have a charger inside your camper that needs to detect the battery. And as I said, this is a huge problem with the Avan community, where the campers might only get dragged out for a couple of weeks a year and spend 9 months in storage. The batteries go flat in storage. They go so flat that the inbuilt charger in the camper, especially ones fitted with solar, can't detect that there's a battery there. You plug the camper in and the battery won't charge. Now, on the face of it, this has the same problem. If you plug this in and you hook it up to the battery and it can't detect the battery won't charge. Where this one is different to most other chargers, if you press and hold the PSI bar button, it'll go click. And you will see a voltage reading on the dial. So normally if you clip these straight onto the battery, you'll see the voltage of the battery. But if you press and hold that PSI bar button, this little symbol right here will turn on. And what that has now done is it has bypassed the internal battery power detection, and it has now put power on these terminals. This is hugely advantageous if you have a camper like this where the battery has gone flat, because now there's power on those two terminals. And if you open up your battery box, if your battery's gone flat and not charging, you can attach those directly to the battery, and it may not bring a battery completely back from the dead, but it might put enough power into that battery to allow your solar charger or your mains charger to charge the battery in your camper so that you can then go away. In my opinion, prevention is still better than a cure. Make sure you store your camper plugged in. We have a video about that. Check the link up the top. However, this is a really handy accessory to have with you, because the last thing you want to do is leave on a trip, get to your first site, set up, open the camper up, be plugged in a mains power, but find out none of your 12-volt accessories work because your charger won't turn on because it can't see the battery. This will solve that problem. All in all, I think this is a really good unit, and I think everybody who goes off-road, camping, traveling, etc. should have something like this or this in your kit. You should have an air compressor so that you can pump up a tyre if you get a flat and you need to plug a tyre on the road. Maybe you don't want to use your spare. Maybe you can't get to use your spare. Maybe you've already used it. Air compressor, absolutely essential. Being able to jumpstart your battery. You never know when your battery is going to fail. Something like this could get you out of trouble. And lastly, if you've got a camper that doesn't have an advanced solar system, only has a basic 12-volt system, especially if it's got a lithium battery without solar on the roof, or you've done a lithium upgrade, this could restart the BMS and lithium battery, or bring a lead battery back from the dead that will then allow your charger to charge the battery up while you're on the road. It may not give you a huge amount of extra life out of the battery, but it might get you through the trip to get you home so that you're not replacing a battery on the road. If you'd like to get one of these, I'll leave a link in the description that'll take you across to VicOffroad. They retail for about $200. They have specials all the time. Be bargain savvy. If you want to get one, head on over to VicOffroad and check them out. I'm Josh with J&T's Journey. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share our videos. We also have YouTube memberships available now if you would like to further support our journey. I hope you've all enjoyed this review of the San Hima SH 2500 JS Jump Starter and Air Compressor. Thanks for watching. Cheers.